Hi, welcome to our channel e-learning room. Today I am going to explain what exactly functions in C. Okay, so before that, what exactly a function? The definition of the function, right? A function is a self-contained program. It has some specific task. It means every function has its own task. Depends upon the user requirement. We can define a function, right? Every C program contains one or more functions. One of these functions is main function. The program starts from the main function. It is the gateway of the function. Generally, there are predefined functions and user-defined functions are there. What exactly are predefined functions? Predefined functions are called as library functions. Those are located in the header file. We know very well before that I explained. User-defined functions are nothing but small programs which are written by the user. Depends upon the user requirements. User can write a number of functions. They can write a number of functions. Depends upon the user's criteria. Right? Next, what are the advantages of the user-defined functions? The first and foremost thing, a modular approach to program development. So each and every task can be differentiated to modular. So depends upon that we can define our functions, we can write our functions, right? So modular approach to program development. And the second one is the repeated statements can be placed within a single function which can be accessed whenever and wherever it is required. Whenever you define a function, that function can be accessed anywhere and whenever we need. Okay, a number of times we can use it whenever we need in the program, right? Logically, the decomposition of a program into several concise functions, each and every function do some specific tasks. Such programs are easier to write and debug, right? It enables a programmer to build a customized library. So we can build our customized library with the help of these functions. It means that we can define our own library functions. Function can be called in the main function whenever it is required. So whenever it is required, we can call that function. Once you write that function, we can call that function whenever we need in the program, no matter how many times it may be. Once the function is executed, the control will return to the point where the function was called. The same function can be called several places within a program, right? So we can call n number of times the same program, whatever we have written, right? The general form of the function is type, specifier, function name, and within the parentheses arguments, curly braces start and body of the function and close the curly braces, right? The type specifier is the data type of the value which the function will return, right? The type specifier is the return value of the function, right? It means the data type of the function. If no type is specified, the function is assumed to return an integer itself. If the no data type or the data specifier is defined, it means that default it is an integer itself, right? Arguments of a function. In this, we will explain actual arguments, formal arguments, calling of a function and called function, right? So there are two types of arguments, actual arguments and formal arguments. And after defining a function, how to call a function and calling of a function and called a function, right? See, with the help of this one small program, I can explain what are arguments, formal arguments, and what is called actual arguments and calling a function and called function, right? Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, and after that main function curly braces int I. For I equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 5, I plus plus, right? Printf, the square of percentile d is I dot square I, curly braces close, right? So here I square, see, remember I dot square within the parenthesis I is the actual arguments and it is nothing but a calling a function. This I itself is a actual arguments and it is nothing but a calling a function, right? Next, square int x curly braces start int j is equal to x into x, return j curly braces close. This is the definition of the function. This is called definition of the function. See here, x is a formal argument and this is called function, right? That is a calling function, this is a called function. In other words, this is the definition of the function, whereas this x is formal arguments, right? The data is passed from the calling function to the called function square. The data type of the actual arguments and also the number and order of the actual arguments should be the same as the formal arguments, right? When function is invoked, the control is passed to the called function where the formal arguments are replaced by the actual arguments. So whenever you call that function, automatically the control will move to the definition of the function. After that, whatever the formal arguments are replaced by the actual arguments. That is the basic concept of how to write a function, how to call a function, and what are the formal arguments and what are the this is called of actual arguments. That is about the basic concept about function. I hope you understood well. If you like this video, share it and subscribe it. Thank you very much.